Coming in at number 4 is the OG game that started it all, Kingdom Hearts 1. This story follows a boy named Sora and his friends Riku and Kairi. They're all young kids who dream of building a raft and leaving their island and seeing all of the other worlds out there. However, things don't really go as planned when these creatures called the Heartless show up and plunge the world into darkness, but not before Sora ends up being chosen by this mysterious weapon called the Keyblade. With his world gone and separated from his friends, Sora wakes up in this mysterious world with no idea of where he is. He eventually learns that the Keyblade is the only weapon to defeat the darkness and save the worlds, so alongside Donald and Goofy, who are looking for King Mickey, they leave to go off and find their friends and save the worlds from the forces of darkness. Now this game is an interesting one because it's such a good take on the classic go out and find your friends story that I'm sure we're all used to by now. And the Disney worlds in this game are still relatively fresh, adding in characters like Hercules and Ariel, and that's honestly really fun because you get to experience these fresh original stories alongside some of your favorite characters. And that also goes towards Final Fantasy characters that are included from the recently released Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII. Now as far as relevance to the plot, it's hard to go wrong with the first game in the series. And this story also does a lot of things right, giving us time to really enjoy these days with these characters and building their friendship before tearing it away from us was a good sequence in the series. Then in turn, watching the relationship build between Donald and Goofy, who are essentially the two characters you'll spend the most time with throughout the series, is also just really great. It's also interesting to see Riku's character progression throughout the story and see him go from rival to antagonist only to find out that there's a more evil person in the background pulling the strings. This game is by far the most simple to follow and honestly one of the better ones in the franchise, with good gameplay to match. With not adding too much complexity to the combat like later games would, this game does a great job of easing the player into the world of Kingdom Hearts with good gameplay and a simple story of, I lost my friends, let's go find them, as opposed to, let's go to the Sleeping Worlds and learn the intricacies of time travel. The only thing that I really have against it is that the gameplay is good but doesn't necessarily hold up as well as it did when it was newer, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's still a fun experience. A strong start to the series with great gameplay is what earns Kingdom Hearts 1 the number 4 spot on this list.